Hello everybody and welcome to today's session on creating your first responsive course with Adobe Captivate 8. And we will be covering a lot of basics about responsive design and what are some of the terms that you will be, you need to get familiar with, because this is a completely new paradigm in terms of content creation in e-learning. So we will be covering those basics, and then I will show you step by step how you can create your responsive e-learning courses. Ready for it? Ready? Yep, okay. So let's move on, and this is the first term from where we have got into responsive e-learning. So what is responsive web design? It's just a way of displaying your content which you were typically used to seeing it on your desktop, on your tablets and your mobile devices. Whether you are holding it horizontally or vertically, it shows it correctly and fits right into that device size. So that's responsive web design, and just taking it the responsive web design to the e-learning field. What is responsive e-learning? It is the same thing. We are displaying the e-learning content into the devices. But there's a slight difference. And the difference is that responsive web is a long web page. There is no, you don't have to define the height at all. You can just scroll on and on and on and on and on and have endless amount of content on that same screen. And nobody will complain. Yeah, but if you have that scroll bar on your e-learning course, a lot of people will tell you that, what is this? This is not correct. You cannot have so much content on the screen. There's too much text. There's too much information. So we in the e-learning field are used to more slide-based paradigm. And we have a lot of different type of content that we have to deal with. We have some interactive elements. We have assessment questions. We have overlay objects. We have buttons. We have God not what. We have simulations as well. So to deal with all those things, we need a specialized way of creating our e-learning content so that it takes care of all those typical e-learning objects that we add to our course. Plus, it is responsive in nature so that it works well on the mobile devices and the tablet devices. Okay, so that's the simple difference between the web responsive and e-learning responsive. Now, some of the terms that we will have to go through when we create a responsive project, and the first of them is a breakpoint. Okay, what is a breakpoint? In simple terms, it's the layout. And in Captivate, we have three such predefined layouts. One is the primary layout, which is typically for desktop, or you can take it for a horizontal iPad view, right? And then the second one is the tablet view, which you can use for the vertical iPad or an Android device. And the third one is the mobile view. And these are the default three sizes that Captivate gives you. But you don't have to stick to that. You can change it to suit the requirements that you have. And this is based on something known as the viewport sizes. Now, what are viewport sizes? Viewport size is the size of your browser window minus the address bar and other menu items. So if you remove all that portion which is occupied by that particular element, you will get to see the viewport sizes. Now everybody has a mobile device in hand, right? Just go ahead and go to this website, which is viewportsizes.com/mine, and let me know what values you get. Mine, it's M-I-N-E, it's your viewport size. And here are the viewport sizes that I see on my devices. I have an iPad where in the horizontal view, it gives me the value of 1024 by 704. And on my Android device, vertically, it gives me 360 by 567. So you can get these values. And you will notice that when you change the position from vertical to horizontal, the values differ. It doesn't match at all. And that's because it is deducting that, the pixels that is taken by the address bar. That's why you see a difference. So do you get some different values here? Yes, and what are the values you are seeing?
320 by 460.
Perfect, that's an iPhone.
And then 568 by 320.
Awesome, awesome. So this is the basis on which you will create your breakpoints for your Captivate responsive courses. You just need to do a little research where you will find out what are the typical devices your learners are using, and based on that, you will design the size of your breakpoint. Okay, so very important, this link will be really helpful for you when you start creating your responsive e-learning courses. Okay, with that, let me talk to you about one last thing here, and just a second. Yeah, and that is Captivate's law of inheritance. That's something new that I thought would be interesting to talk to you about. And that is, we have these 3 breakpoints, and these 3 breakpoints have this law of inheritance, where it's a parent-child view, parent-child relationship. So whatever you add to your primary breakpoint is, comes down to the tablet breakpoint. And that further comes down to the mobile breakpoint. It's a downward flow. It never flows up. So if you do something in the mobile breakpoint, it will not go to the tablet, and it will not go to the primary breakpoint. And this is how it works. So our primary breakpoint is the grandparent, the tablet breakpoint is the parent, and the mobile breakpoint is the child. Okay, so you have to keep this thing in mind, and whenever you are, authoring content in Captivate for responsive, you should always start with primary. Okay, let's get started with Captivate. Okay, so let's get started here, and to create a responsive project, you just have to double-click this icon here on the Captivate welcome screen. Okay, we will just double click it here, and that will create a new responsive project for us. Okay, it will just take a few minutes because it's creating those 3 layouts for us. And now here you can see that we have these 3 breakpoints as we just spoke about. We have this primary breakpoint, which is color coded as green. We have this tablet breakpoint, which is color coded as blue, and we have the mobile breakpoint, which is color coded as orange. This color code will really help us find out that where is that property coming from, because of the law of inheritance that we have in Captivate. Okay, so here's how it looks like. And to modify the breakpoint size, you have to modify the width and the height. Okay, first we will take a look at how to modify the width of the slide. Okay, very simple to do that. Select the breakpoint for which you want to modify the width. You will see this handle here on the beginning, at the beginning and the end. Just go ahead and click and drag it to the left or the right. Okay? This will allow you to modify the width for your project. Okay? And this is modifying the width for the primary view. To modify the width for the mobile view, for the tablet view, you have to click on the tablet view and increase or decrease it. It's as simple as that. Okay? And for the mobile view, again, you can increase or decrease it. Is it working for you guys? Yeah, perfect. And you can see that the minimum you can go with mobile view is 320 pixels. There's some problem here.
With what?
The display.
With the size?
Yeah.
I think it's just an aspect ratio.
Okay, just leave it then. Leave it. Yeah, okay.
Can you microphone on your shirt? It's stretching a little bit.
Okay. Just. So the minimum you can go here is 320 pixels, and the maximum you can go with the primary view is 1280. So that's the maximum width you have, and the minimum width you can have is 320 pixels. Okay. Now the Captivate engineering team has designed these 3 views for you, which you can use for desktop, tablet, and mobile. But you don't have to really go with it. If you want to create a course just for mobile devices, what you can do is you can use this responsive layout to have one view as a vertical view for an iPhone, one as a horizontal view for the iPhone, and the third one as a vertical or a horizontal view for your Android devices. So you can really just have mobile devices with different dimensions and create your responsive course with that. If you're creating only for iPads, you can take different dimensions that an Android device has and the iPad has. So you can use these 3 breakpoints the way you want. Okay, you necessarily don't have to create a course which goes on all these 3 typical devices. You can have your own set of 3 devices that you can use for creation. Okay? So this is how you can modify the width. Now to modify the height, upfront you will not be able to see any handle or any control for that. To get the control to modify the height, you just have to check this box on the top right corner. It says View Device Height. When you check this, you will get this yellow boundary around your course, around your slide. And on the top left corner, you will see the pixels mentioned. It's 627 pixels right now. And if you're wondering why this odd size, that's because in Captivate course, you also have a play bar. So let me just preview this for you quickly, and I'll show you how this. You have to double-click the responsive project. Open new, yeah. So here you can see that with the course, you also have the play bar. And this play bar is about 45 pixels. So when you have your viewport size and the height is, say, 768 pixels, you need to deduct those 45 pixels if you're planning to have a play bar. If you're not planning to have a play bar, you're good. Okay, you don't need to worry about anything. Otherwise, there will be a slight scroll and it will be a little clunky when it plays on the mobile device. So if you're planning to have the play bar, from your viewport size, you will be deducting those 45 pixels. And all these details are also mentioned in the handout that is up on the website, so you can just download it, take a print. There are some good notes in it, and it'll really be helpful for you to create your first project. So that's about play bar, and let's go back and let me show you how to adjust this height. So with this handle, what you can do is you can click this yellow bar on the bottom center, and you can increase or decrease the height. You can easily do that, and that will allow you to change the height for this project. Whatever changes you are making here will also reflect in other slides. So if you add a new slide here, I add a blank slide here, and you can see that for this slide also we have the same height. It doesn't change, right? But if you are on a mobile view, suppose you are here, and on this view, what you want to do is you want to add some extra content, because this space that you're getting for mobile is not enough to display the content. You can increase the slide height. Okay, this will allow, if you move this yellow slider, this will allow you to move the device height, and that will be applicable for all the slides in the project. But if you just want to do it for one single slide, you can go to the Properties Inspector, and here you can see that the slide height is linked with the device height. You can break this link by clicking it and increase it by just moving the slider here. And you can see that now I have this extra space below the yellow border, and that will be available for me, and I can have a scroll on this slide. So if there's a lot of content, it's important. You cannot remove it. You need to have it even on the mobile device. You can add a scroll to it and have your content available over here. Any questions? Yeah.
When you change the slide height, will it automatically have a scroll bar for it?
Yes, it will automatically have a scroll bar for it. So any extra pixels will generate a scroll bar automatically on the sidebar. Okay, so this was about slide height and width. So that's how you will adjust the breakpoint. And just a quick tip here, whenever you create a responsive project, the first thing you should do is adjust the breakpoint. Because otherwise, what will happen if you do it towards the end, you've already added objects, you have created your artwork, everything will go for a toss, then you'll have to go and readjust everything. So this should be your first step when you create a responsive project. Okay? So after adjusting the breakpoint sizes, what you can do is you can apply theme in Captivate. Let me just create a new project so that we have some size here. Okay, so we have this new project, and after I have adjusted the breakpoint, what I can do is I can go to the theme and apply a theme here. And all the themes that are shipped with Captivate are responsive in nature. So as soon as you apply a theme, let me just select one of the themes here and apply it. All the slides that are added, or the master slides that are included in this particular project are responsive in nature. So when I go from this view to the tablet view, you can see that the content is automatically adjusting and it's reducing in size. And in the mobile view, you can see that some of the stuff is excluded, the design changes. It's optimally utilizing the space that is provided for creating this project. Okay? So a lot of work has already been done for you. What you need to do is, when you add your own objects, like a background image or people images or characters or interactions, you need to understand how to position them right and how to control their size inside the project. Make sense? Yeah? So if you think that by resizing it or using a portion of that image will suffice your need, you can do that. Or you can have entirely different image in all three different views. So if you want to design, very differently for desktop and completely different design for your mobile, you can have that as well. So both the things are possible with responsive. Okay? It depends on the requirement. So if you are creating something like, just take an example of a web page when you have it. Just take a look at the DevLearn web page. When you look at it at on the laptop view, you will have these 3-4 blocks of content that is flowing. But when you come down to the mobile, you have to have it in one column. So that type of design, if you want for your e-learning courses, you can have different objects. Or sometimes what happens is, like if you're using a character image, you can use a full-sized image for your desktop view. But when you go down to the mobile view, there is really no space to adjust everything together and include it. Maybe you can just have the face or the torso shot of the character and have the rest of the content take a better part of the stage. So it depends on your requirement, and it depends on what you are trying to do with the content. Both the approaches are good. It depends on what really fulfills your requirement. Okay? Make sense? Yep. Okay. So here we have applied this theme, and if you go to the master slide view, I'll just open the properties inspector, click master slide view, and here in this master slide view, you can see that I have quite a few layouts, and they look really different in all these three images, in all these three breakpoints. And here you can see that only images are available here. Here also it's only images. Here we have image, plus we have a lot of extra information that you can add. So it helps you lay out your content better. But if you want to design your own theme or you want to design your own screen layout, you can do that easily, and we will be covering that in a minute. Okay, before that, let me show you how you can change colors of these themes. So along with themes, you have something like known as a theme color. This will allow you to modify the color scheme of your presentation. And this will apply to each and every element that you have in your course. So here you can see when I'm hovering over it, it gives me some colors. Some are really good and some are horribly bad. So I can pick the one I like, and suppose I like this one. And after applying this style, I can even go and customize this. So if I like this style, but I really hate this yellow color, I don't like it, and it doesn't go well with what I'm doing here. So I'll go and click customize here, and there is this blue hyperlink text. This will allow me to rename it. I'll just rename it as Vivid New, and the title is yellow. I don't want yellow. I will maybe choose a darker gray, and even subtitle, I don't want yellow. I hate yellow. So maybe I'll take a lighter shade of gray, and rest of the stuff is okay. I will go and click save, and all those changes will be applied here, plus it will be applied on other master slides that you have. Let's do something drastic. So here, this pink color, let's go ahead and change it to blue and save it. And now when you go to the master slide, you will notice that everything has changed. So wherever that blue, pink, and everything was being used, that has changed. I think the pink color comes with the play bar. So let's preview this. Okay, so here you can see this pink color, and I don't know why it didn't go. Maybe I did not commit to the changes. So this is Vivid New, and pink still exists. So I'll just go ahead and change this to maybe purple. And because today is a crazy day and I want to use crazy colors, I'll just go ahead and click Project. And you can see that the play bar changes to purple. I don't have to do anything. I just have to change the color palette, which is known as the theme colors, which you can create. Okay. Let's move on. And the next thing I want to show you here is how to add various objects and work with it. So if you're using the objects that are already there in theme, you don't need to worry about it. It's already done. You just have to populate it with the text or images that are there. But if you are adding your own content, you will have to work with different stuff. So in the assets folder that you just downloaded, go to the images folder. Okay, I'll just open this. And there is this images folder. And inside this, there is this image known as bgflatcolor.png. It's the second image. Just drag and drop it on Captivate. And ensure you are on the primary view. Okay. I will just position it on top of this particular layout. And you can see that it's pretty big image. Okay. Even after covering the entire slide, I still have some of it left because it's, I think, 1024 by 768. That's why it has some extra pixels. So here you can see this image doesn't have anything much. It's a flat colored image. It has just these flat blue colored pixels that I want to use as a background. What you can do is you can position it in a way so that it looks better on all the three layouts. Now currently if you see it, if you go to the tablet view, you will notice that it is covering the most part of the screen, but there is some part of the screen that is left out. You can still see this gray area which is coming from the theme. I don't want this to happen. If I go to mobile, you will see that a lot of mobile portion is uncovered. I really don't want that to happen. I want it to cover the entire slide. That's my background image, and it should fit my screen perfectly, no matter what. Now, there is a magic setting for that. What you can do is you can go to the Position Inspector, and in Position Inspector, you will get some values for position and the size. Let's go ahead and change top to 0%. Okay, it's for me it shows minus 0.3 and left is 0. Here, the setting that Captivate has by default is to have height as auto and width as percentage. It works best when you want to maintain aspect ratio and you don't want the image to be distorted. But here in this image, there is no problem. It's a flat color image, and if I distort it in any way, just if I make it small or if I make it big, it doesn't really change anything in this image. So what I can do is I can go ahead and change the height to percentage, and here it says 122%. I'll change it to 100. I want to distort it. Okay? Yes. So, are you in the responsive project? So, next to Properties Inspector, there will be Timing and then Position. The third one, yeah. So, now this is covering completely, and I am making these changes in the primary view. Okay? Now, when I go to tablet view, you can see that it perfectly fits my slide. You can see that in mobile also, it perfectly fits. So if you want to fit your images perfectly, 100 by 100%, you should use percentage and set it to 100%. Any questions? Any questions? Make sense? Yes?
Are you going to touch on, well, that is of course a solid comment. Are you going to speak about actual images that change?
Yeah, yes. So this was the most, this was the most basic image that you will first add to your course, right? So let's start with A, now let's go to B. Okay, now let's add this image, which is bg.png. I'll just drag it to the stage and position it. And here you can see that there's a nice pattern going on here. And again, when I go to tablet, again, I have a portion of tablet which is uncovered, and I have in mobile, half of it is not fitting. I want this image to be fitting directly over here. But now, if I, distort the size of this image, if I do a %, then it will not look nice. It will look a little squeaky, and it'll look slimmer, which I will not like. It'll probably give conflicts to me. Okay, so what you can do is you can modify the position values here. Here, the width is set to 100% and height is set to auto. What is it doing is, it is calculating the width, putting it 100%, and then it is adjusting the height according to it. What if we change the height to percentage so that it covers the height completely, and change the width to pixels, or not pixels, sorry, to auto. What this will do is, it will keep the height as 100% and then spill over some of the content to the right side of the screen. Okay, let's see what happens. So here I go to the tablet, and you can see that a part of this image is lying on the right. And it's not breaking the design. The design is still the same. It's starting from the bottom left corner, and it's flowing pretty well. If I go to mobile, again, it's half of it is out, but it really doesn't break the design. If this was to be like this, it was not looking nice. It was like breaking the thingy, and I don't want that to happen. But this is solving my purpose. Okay? So if I change the height, let me go back to primary. If the height is changed to percentage and width is changed to auto, it will allow you to not break the design and just spill over the extra part of the image that is available. Make sense? Yeah? Okay, let me show you one more image here, something similar. Again, these are buildings, and what I want to do here is, it's okay if I spill over some parts of the building. Again, this will be not covering the image completely. And again, it's a background image. So I'll have the same settings here. I'll change this to percentage. I'll change this to auto. But this time what I will do is, I want these 2-3 buildings that are the tallest here, I want them to be in focus. So what I will do is, I will right click and I will say, align center horizontally. Okay. Again, I will come here and I will say center horizontally. What this will do is, it will spill over image on both the sizes and keep the center in focus. Okay. I'll do the same here and I will say center horizontally. And now this image, I want this portion to be in focus, and it will remain in focus for me, though it's spilling over content on both the sides. Useful? Yeah? Okay. So this was about background images. Let's add some people images also over here, okay? And here comes a person image. Okay. We have this boy, and I'll place him on the bottom left corner of the screen, okay? Again, I'll show you a problem. I go to the tablet view, and you can see that this boy is moving up. He's not grounded. I don't want him to fly in the course and just be somewhere randomly here. Okay, and here in this mobile view, you can see he's becoming really tiny because other objects, I'm spilling over things here. So for this also, I need to have a similar setting. So what I can do is, I can modify the position. And here you can see that this image is linked to the top and left corner of the slide, which is this. What it is doing is, it is calculating 48% from top, and it starts placing the object. So here also, it's calculating 48%, and then it is positioning the boy image. And because the size has become small, there is these many pixels remaining even after putting the image. So what we should do here in such a situation where we need to link the boy to the bottom left corner, we should change top to bottom, so that it starts calculating pixels from the bottom. Okay. Now when I go to the tablet, you can see that it is in the bottom. I'll just turn this on so that you see the actual slide. And when I go to the mobile view, again it is sticking to the bottom. Okay. Another problem, he's becoming really small. So what we can do is, we can change this to percentage and this to auto, because we did that for the rest of the images. So let's do it for this one as well. And you can see that now he doesn't shrink as much as he was shrinking in the other. Okay. Let me show you one more image here, and that is of this janitor. We'll just add this image. And for this image, what we should do is, he is sticking to the bottom left corner. This guy should stick to the bottom right corner. Okay. So I'll just change this to right, and I will change top to bottom, and we'll change height to percentage and width to auto. And now when we go to the tablet view, you can see that these guys are coming closer to each other, but they never overlap each other. They are sticking to their positions, and they are coming close to each other, but never colliding with each other. Okay? So this is how you can add people images and play around with the size and position of the objects. Any questions till here? Yeah?
Do you have to be in the larger view, tablet view, to adjust all the sizes?
You have to be in the primary view. You should be in the primary view. Yeah. And if by mistake you have done some change here, and you think that, oh, you had to do in primary view, what you can do is, you can right click, and there is this new option in 8.0.1 which says apply position properties to all views. This will help you apply those properties back to primary, and then you can start from there again. Okay, it will relink it, yes.
So that's relinking it.
That is relinking, yes. And that's for text as well. I'll be covering text now in a minute. So let's go to
One more question. You said that the images won't overlap.
Yeah, yes. So you have to check in between views so that they don't collide, and then adjust the position accordingly. Yeah.
And that works, and that becomes really important for buttons.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so let's go and insert a new slide here. Just add a new slide. And here, let me add some text. So let me write something here. Okay. So you can see that I added some text here in primary view. And, oh, that's the primary view who's saying that. I'm not saying that, okay. And then when you come to the tablet view, you can see that the same text is flowing. And in the mobile view as well, you have the same text flowing in. But if you go and change things in the tablet view, you will notice that the primary view is not affected. In tablet, you have a different text, but it doesn't go upwards. That's the law of inheritance. It goes downwards, but it never goes upwards. Okay? And when you go to mobile, the mobile will take the tablet view text. It will not take the primary view text because it is affected. It's grandparent, parent, and child. And here, if I shut up, okay? So that way you can have different text in different layouts. And it's just not about different text. You can even have different styling for it. So if you want for mobile device, you want the color of the text to be different, you can do that. Just select this and, oops. So you can change the color here, you can change it to purple, you can make it bold, make it italics, and this formatting will not be affected in this particular caption here. And here again, you can go ahead and make it of a different color. You can superscript it or subscript it or underline it, and it will be not affected in the primary view. So you can have 3 different text captions, and the logic of having this type of a functionality in Captivate is that when you are displaying content on mobile devices, you will try and keep the words as less as possible. So you have that possibility over here, and you can try doing it. Okay. So that's about text. I need to show you a couple more things here. And for that, let's open this project here in Assets folder. And that is moving objects together. This is pretty interesting. So if you have something like a flow chart that you want to show in your course, or something as simple as showing a caption or a thought bubble or a speech bubble next to a person, you need that speech bubble to go together with the person, right? But by default, if you add a speech bubble, you will notice that the speech bubble will follow its own position because both the objects that you are adding, the person image and the caption, they are following the slide width and height. They are not talking to each other. And because their size is different from each other, the size of this thought bubble is different from the size of this person image. So that's why the calculation that Captivate does is different for both of them. To make them talk to each other, what you need to do is you need to link the caption to the person. Okay, let me show that to you. I'll just create a new slide here. And let's add an image. So I go to media and character, and let me so I have this image here. I'll just position her over here. And then I will add a caption. Okay, I'll say hello. And when I go to the tablet view, you can notice that it's appearing correctly. Wow. It's working perfectly. But it's not sticking to the bottom, so let's go and change this to bottom, maybe right. And for this also, let's have the same setting, bottom and right. And I go here, and now you can see the difference, right? So this caption is moving way up and doesn't look like that she's speaking something, it's somebody in the air. Okay, so what you can do in this situation is you can enable smart position. What that will allow you to do is, it will allow you to link this particular caption or any other object that you add in Captivate to other objects. So here, this character is my primary image, and it's okay if it is linked to the bottom left corner. But what I want to do is, I want to move this object along with the character image. So instead of linking it to the slide, I need to link it to the character. How I can do that is, I can click and drag this, and I will just wait for this long blue line to appear. As soon as I see that guiding line, I will drop it, and now the caption's right side is linked to the left side of the character. We'll do the same for the bottom. Instead of linking to the bottom, we will link this caption to the top of the character. Now, wherever this image will go, the character image will also move along with it. So we will just go through the tablet view, and now you can see that it's following the character, and here again it's following the character and linking properly. Is it useful? Especially because in e-learning courses we have a lot of objects moving together, so this really helps. There's another thing that we do is overlay objects, especially important for simulations, or if you want to have, say, if you want to create a button out of an image, you don't want to do all the hard work to put it inside the button and all. You just want to put a click box on top of it. So by default, it will move the position. But if you want it to move together, there is some setting in position which is percent relative. Okay? That will help you move those objects together. So the setting that we saw before was smart position. That is to move objects which are side by side. But if you have objects that are on top of each other, you need a separate setting. Okay? And that is percent relative. What it does is, it takes the width of the slide as a reference point and not the width of the object. So let me show you this example. Here on the left-hand side, the highlight box will go haywire, and that's the normal setting. And here's the adjusted setting. So I'll just show it to you. Here in this, I have changed the position to percent relative for these vertical options. So height is percent relative instead of percent or auto, and bottom is set to percent relative. That will take the width of the slide as a reference point, and it will position both the objects at the same exact position so that it doesn't move away from each other. Okay? So these were some of the things that you can do. Again, there's one important thing that when you add text boxes in your responsive courses, chances are that the text will start truncating if it's not of the correct size. If you want to avoid that, you should use either auto or percent relative for the height. The same position is the options that we used for overlay objects, the percent relative. If you have this particular option checked, the text will never truncate. Okay, it will automatically adjust itself to the size. Let's see a preview of this. So here in this example, on top it's percent, here it's pixel, here it's auto and here it's percent relative and percent. Let's go and preview this project. Excuse me. So here you can see that there is a slider, and let me move it, and you will see that the top two, there is some truncation happening, right? The first one is truncating from the bottom and the second one is truncating from the right. But the bottom two are adjusting the text appropriately based on the settings that we have made. All the text is included. Okay, so whenever you are creating your responsive courses, make sure that the height is set to auto or percent relative. By default, it is set to auto, so you don't have to worry about, but if you adjust it, you increase or decrease the size, make sure after you make all the adjustments, change the vertical property to auto. And that will help you get rid of the truncation issues that you get. Okay. So once you have added all these objects and you are all set with it, it's time to preview. Okay, and previewing, we just saw the option that you can preview the project. You can even preview from the slide and next 5 slides, and this allows you to preview it in just a second, in 3 different modes. You get these 3 breakpoints in the form of these numbers. You just have to go and click, and it will allow you to see how your content will look on these 3 breakpoints. You don't need to view it specifically on a device. You can do that here as well. Even there, and there is this handy slider, and at the center, when I'm clicking and dragging, you will see that the number is changing, right? That number is the width that it is telling you, okay? So based on the width, you can check how the content is going to look like when it is viewed on a device with this particular width. Okay. There's one more option here, which is preview in Edge Inspect. You don't need to publish your course to a device. You just have to use Edge Inspect. So I have Edge Inspect running on my computer. I have this Chrome plugin of Edge Inspect, and I have connected my iPhone and iPad. And here I am mirroring them using the iPad. So let me just. So here you can see that I can see exactly how the content will look like in my iPad, and I can tweak the stuff. Here's how it will look on the iPhone. So I can test it nicely and see how things are looking like without even publishing the content. Okay, so you can do all of that, and once you are done with all these editing and all that stuff, you can easily go and publish. Just go and select publish for devices, and here you can enable mobile gestures, which will allow you to play, pause the movie on long tap, swipe left or right, pinch for zoom, or double tap for showing, hiding TOC, or swipe up or down for showing or hiding the play bar. These are the simple navigations that you can do with gestures. But as Anita said in the previous session, you have to use it with caution. If you have a branching type of a scenario, then it's better not to have these gestures enabled. Okay. Also, you can have geolocation enabled if you are interested. Sarah and Dustin will be doing a session, I think, in the next slot, and it's pretty interesting. Go ahead and attend that. They have some cool examples to show you about geolocation. So you can have these features enabled and then go ahead and publish it. You can also publish these courses as apps. So there is a direct publish for devices. Here, this will allow you to publish your courses as apps using the PhoneGap login. And I actually have, we have Reflector on. Let me show you an app, a simple app that I created with one of the drag and drop interactions. So here's a drag and drop interaction where you have to dress up the doll. So you can just go ahead and swap the different dresses. And this is a Captivate project which was published as an app using the PhoneGap technology. So you can directly do that if you have a PhoneGap account. Yes?
Now, is that's a separate entity, the PhoneGap? Is this like a third-party thing that you have to do in order to purchase?
It's not a third-party thing. So if you have a Creative Cloud account, I think you get a free PhoneGap build account, and you can publish your apps using that. Yes. I can see a big smile on your face. That's a nice thing. Okay, so you can do all of this. Also, if we have some more time, let me show you how you can create a drag and drop interaction in responsive. Interested? Yeah? Okay, so let's go to this particular slide, and I will just go ahead and create a new slide. Let me add some characters here. I will just add an image. I'm sorry. Okay, let me just add maybe this guy. And I'll just take a copy of this image and make it black and white. So I'll just go and change it to grayscale so that this becomes our drop target. And creating a drag and drop interaction in responsive courses is same as we are doing in the regular projects. Just go to interactions, drag and drop. Here you have to follow those 3 steps to identify the draggable, identify the drop target, and show the relationship. So this is the first step. We will identify the draggable, go next, identify the drop target. I'm just clicking on it and go next. And then you see an arrow at the center of the image. You just have to drag an arrow out of it and place it on top of the drop target and click finish. This will create the interaction for you. And let's preview this and see how it looks like, I'm sorry, in the browser. So here you can see that, okay. So you have this interaction. Here you can simply drag and drop the person here. But the same interaction looks good here as well and here as well. And it works seamlessly in all the different layouts. You can submit it and it will allow you to create these drag and drop interactions. And this is new in Captivate 8.01. So if you've not updated your version with this free update, go ahead and do it and use this feature. Also, we have 5 more minutes. Let me show you simulation as well. So if you want to record a simulation here, you just have to go to slide, click software simulation, and click OK. And we have this rectangle, red rectangle. And let's go ahead and resize this window so that it fits here. Okay, and I will start recording here, and let's go ahead and do a few clicks here and there, and just do some clicks randomly. Okay, and I'll press the N key, and that will add all those slides here for me. Okay, and I'm not touching it at all. Let's go ahead and preview this from this slide. Okay, and I'll show you how things look like in the different views. So, okay, wait just a second. Let me just go back. So here you can see that it's looking like this. When you go to 768 view, it automatically crops the extra area. It just sees where is your click box, and based on that, it keeps this particular area for you and crops the rest of the stuff. So now when you play this, you will notice that wherever the click is happening, it's automatically moving to that particular portion. So here you can see that I move to the right hand side, then to the top, and then to the bottom. So it automatically checks where the action is happening and crops the slide accordingly. So it doesn't try to cramp everything in that particular view. It tries to just do away with the extra details and helps you do stuff well for simulations. Okay. With that, any questions? Do you find this useful for your e-learning creation? Yep. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was trying to export one of the projects as an app for Android, but it had audio.
Okay.
It didn't play on the Android device.
When were you trying this?
Last week.
Last week? Maybe we have a lot of engineers here sitting at the back, and they can help you with it.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect. Any other question?
I haven't seen this, but I just heard from others that, not not on 801, but I think the first, anyway, Captivate, there was a problem with the motion path.
Motion path? Yeah, so motion paths don't work with responsive, no. So as a workaround, you can use the ease in effect, which will, because a lot of effects are not supported in responsive. There are only few which are supported. Yeah. Any other questions?
Is it just the 3 breakpoints for now?
Yes, that's all you have. That's all you have. We are working on it. Yep. Maybe 802, maybe 9, maybe 12. We're working on it. Yes, any other questions? Okay then, thank you very much for being here. You have been a fantastic audience. Thank you.